redefining what is possible through cutting-edge prosthetics and an unbreakable spirit. An advocate, a role model, and a living testament to strength beyond adversity. Please welcome the remarkable Tilly Lockie.
Daniel.
Microfluidics. So moving on, our next keynote speaker, I'm pretty sure I can't give a better introduction than she herself can, but I'll try. I'm pleased to introduce you to the first ever person to get a custom wireless bionic arm, Tilly Lockie. She campaigned for 10 years and played a huge role in helping the NHS provide access to a multi-grip bionic arms. Because for Tilly, this isn't about her. It's about expanding so that everybody has access when she herself also has access. She opens up doors for everybody else as well. She is a co-designer and a bionic arm innovator, giving crucial feedback on the state-of-the-art Hero Arm and Hero Pro. And she proudly says she's been a professional guinea pig since the age of 9. I'm pretty sure all of you are really curious, and she has touched hearts of millions. She initially started online by doing makeup tutorials, and from the age of 9 she's participated in so many competitions and has even won the singing competition on CBBC. So it's such an incredible honor to be in presence of her and talk about her. All set? Recently, she has even collaborated with Mr. Beast on YouTube. I'll tell you what. She doesn't stop with just her, like I said previously. She has even helped somebody else get a bionic arm of their own. So, I wait for her. And I'm pretty sure that all of you will be inspired by the end of this session. So if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to her, she's always open to anything on social media. She's always posting and connecting with everybody so that she creates a safe space for everybody around the world, of all ages. To the latest new audience. Here we have Tilly Lockie. She's the co-designer and the bionic arm innovator.
Color profile, sir. Done.
For all the music fans out there, if you have Spotify app on your phone right now, I urge you to search Porcelain. Believe it or not, she's also a singer-songwriter. So I urge you, it's called Porcelain, Porcelain. It's an amazing song. She has inspired many in many ways, and one of them is through arts. She sings, she performs on stage. So if you have Spotify right now, look up, listen to it right now. Add to your playlist, and starting from tomorrow, she's going to be a new favorite artist.
Hi guys, how are we doing? Doing good? Cool. Ironically, we're having a bit of tech difficulties. So we're gonna get the slides up, and then I have a really epic video that I want you to watch. Does anybody know James Cameron? Yeah? Alita Battle Angel, has anybody seen that film? Yeah? It's one of my favorite films, personally, and I got to have some bionic arms that were designed after that film, which were gifted to me by James Cameron. So that's going to be the first video that I show you once we get this all working. And then I'm going to take a lot of questions at the end. So if you have any questions, don't worry, we'll get to them.
Hi, Jim Cameron here. As a movie maker, I've always been inspired by technology and what it can achieve. Technology is at the heart of the movie we're working on now. Alita Battle Angel looks at how technology and humans are coming closer together and how it could change humanity in significant ways. Meet Tilly Lockie. When she was a baby, she was diagnosed with meningococcal septicemia strain B, that sadly meant she lost both of her arms. Despite this initial setback, Tilly has grown up to be an incredible person and has never let her disability hold her back in any way. Prosthetic arms aren't cheap, especially for children. As Tilly grows from baby to child, from child to adult, she needs replacement arms that match her body as she gets older. So we decided to have the Alita design team work with Open Bionics to build her a bespoke pair of advanced prosthetic arms that are affordable. And it won't just be Tilly who will benefit from our partnership with Open Bionics. We've also helped to develop affordable Alita-inspired prosthetic arm covers that will soon be made available for all amputees.
Hey, Tilly.
Hi, Tilly. We have been working unbeknownst to you with the team at Open Bionics, the whole team on Alita, and we've helped create some arms for you in the form of the Alita Berserker body.
What?
And these are arms for you to put on today and then to go to the premiere of the movie tonight. For us, you are an inspiration. You have shown what strength you have on the inside, and that really represents Alita.
When this got sprung up on us, I was just completely overwhelmed and just shocked. But I'm so grateful and lucky to be here, and I want to thank everyone who's involved. Hooray! Thank you so much, everybody. My name is Tilly Lockie, and this is my first time in India. So thank you so much for welcoming me here. The team has been amazing, and I couldn't wait to be here speaking to you today. You all look wonderful. Have you been having a good time the last couple of days? Yeah? Who went to Robo Wars last night? Anyone? I went to Robo Wars, and can I just say, that was the coolest thing I've seen in a long, long time, all right? On the flight over here, I watched Big Hero 6, you know? Have you seen Big Hero 6? Raise of hands, anybody? Yeah? Where they fight the robots? That's where I thought I was last night. And I've also been learning a bit of your language as well. So I learned Vanakkam, is that right? Welcome? Yeah? Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm very happy to be here today, and what I'm going to do today is basically share with you a bit of my story and my work when it comes to co-designing prosthetic arms, which, as you can see, I actually wear. So I get to give input and get these bionic arms to be the best they can be, basically. That's the ultimate goal. And to share that story, I guess I need to start at the very beginning. Because I wasn't always like this. When I was born, I had all 4 limbs. I was a completely normal, happy, healthy baby. I had my older sister at the time, and there was nothing to tell us apart. There was no way you could have known what was to come. It was when I was 15 months old, I started whimpering in my cot. My parents came to check on me. I had a bit of a temperature. They took me to the doctors, and initially I was diagnosed with an ear infection and sent home. And you know, you want to trust what the doctors say. My mom said there was just a little bit in the back of her mind, which was like, I think this might be a little bit more serious. So she kept an eye on me anyway. And it wasn't until my nana was looking after me that they uncovered these marks on my body. It was sort of like blood underneath the skin, and that was the septicemia rash. She called in my mom to check out these bruises on my body. And immediately my mom saw that and knew exactly what it was. And all she knew at that point was that it was a race against time. So I was rushed to the hospital. And when we got there, there was already about 12 paramedics waiting to collect me. And immediately I was, put into this hospital bed. Clothes were being cut off, tubes were being put here, there, and everywhere. And the rashes were appearing on my skin. They explained it like raindrops hitting a puddle at this point. And it was shortly after that that my parents were sat down and they were told that I was going to die. I was given 0% chance of survival. I'd contracted something called meningococcal septicemia strain B in its full name, which is quite a mouthful. And basically what that is meningitis is the inflammation of the membranes around the spine and the brain, and that can often bring on septicemia, which is a form of blood poisoning, and that's what well and truly kills off your body. As you can see here, these are my real hands. They were all curled over, they were black, and yeah, they were pretty useless to me, as you can imagine. So I was in hospital a long time. I was the worst case they'd ever seen, and there was this one guy who used to walk past the hospital room every day, and he had the power to basically come in and either tell my family that they were shutting my body off and that fight was over, or he had the power to say that I was getting better. And one day, he walked past and he said those 3 words which nobody ever expected him to say. He said that she's getting better, which was amazing news. But after a couple weeks fighting for my life, as you can see, my hands were well and truly destroyed by this awful disease. So I was going to survive, but they were going to have to amputate my hands. Now, to anybody in this room, that might not sound like such a great feat, right? This was a body-altering operation, which was going to change the way I live my life forever. Adapting takes time, and it comes with challenges, both mental and physical. And from this point onwards, there wasn't going to be anybody to mentor me, really, how to go about this change. I mean, looking at all you, I'm assuming that you all have hands in the audience today. If I told you that tomorrow you'd have to lose your hands and there was nothing to be done about it, what would you think? You'd think, I'm doomed, like, use your hands for so much every single day. And of course, that was a big concern. But for my family, it was a second chance at life for me. So every challenge we were going to tackle, overcome the best we could when we came to it. For now, I got a second chance to live, and I wasn't going to waste that opportunity. So now I get to talk about all the fun tech stuff, which I'm sure that you're all here for and you'll thoroughly enjoy. I don't know if anybody's seen this graph before. Anybody? Graph of exponential growth, raise a hand. Well, I was born, and probably a lot of you were born, at arguably the peak of this time. This was when there was so many technological advancements happening. So I thought, having no hands and needing prosthetics in this day and age, that I was well on my way to becoming Iron Man. I was like, hell yeah, let's go, this is going to be great. But unfortunately, we were off to a pretty slow start. But a start, nonetheless. For example, this is the first prosthetic that I ever had. I lost my hands when I was 1. I got into my first prosthetic when I was just 2 years old. And this is exactly what it looked like. Just to walk you through this a little bit, there's no technology in this bionic arm whatsoever. There's no mechanical fingers, there's no muscle sensors. All this was a couple of prongs, which is what they called fingers at the time. They were tied together by elastic bands. There was a tube for me to put my arm in and basically have it attached. And the way it operated, like I said, wasn't technological at all. There was actually a hook on the thumb which connected to a big harness. And basically, that harness went over my tiny 2-year-old body, and the way I would sort of move my upper body and my upper arms would pull on strings and make these fingers go left and right in a sort of pinching motion. So it was pretty difficult to work with. Remember, I'm only 2. Like, 2-year-olds don't have very much bodily coordination as it is. And also, these strings were really difficult to pull. So it actually got to the point where I couldn't use this prosthetic at all. It kind of ended up in a drawer. And the other thing about it is, looking at it, I didn't look at it as a hand. I couldn't associate it as a hand, never mind a replacement for my own hand. And as much fun as I did have running around with my sisters pretending to be Captain Hook, it really wasn't up to standards. So I moved on from that pretty quick. I do want to tell you a story, though, of the first time I received a prosthetic hand, because it was quite a strange reception, definitely very different to what it is today. So I was in a waiting room, waiting to get my prosthetic for the first ever time. And you can imagine what that felt like. I was so excited. I thought this was the start of my future, right? And I was called in from this waiting room, and I was given this prosthetic in a brown paper bag, something like this, as if it was something to be super discreet about. And we didn't really understand that, but we were like, okay, it's still got a prosthetic in it, asking our questions. And we asked, so how does it work? How do we make it move? And the doctor just said, oh no, it doesn't do anything. It just looks like a real hand. You'll just stick it on the end of her arm so that she looks more normal in public. That was what prosthetics were meant to be back in the day. And we didn't get this at all. And when it moved on to get another prosthetic, like that claw that moved a little bit, there was another woman who came running after us. And she said, can I just ask, like, what exactly did they give you? So we opened up this brown paper bag. We weren't trying to be discreet about anything. And it was then where she gasped and she took a step back and she said, that is exactly what they gave me 25 years ago. 25 years and nothing had changed. Nothing from the functionality, the way it moved, the way it looked, even the material. It was exactly the same for 25 years, and that's a minimum, which was crazy to me. So again, it was a pretty scary start. And that's when I decided to make myself a goal, right? I saw what was available, and I decided it wasn't good enough. Going back to the idea of all you guys potentially losing your hand tomorrow, how would you feel if I turned around and said, oh well, you can have this hook that can't open wide enough to hold a cup? It just wasn't good enough. So that became my goal, to work with a prosthetic company to help develop a useful prosthetic, and especially for kids. That was the main thing, because obviously I was tiny at the time. Growing up wearing prosthetics, there really wasn't an awful lot out there. And what there was out there were very realistic designs. This is a picture of a prosthetic that I did have growing up. As you can see, very high definition silicone. It has nails you can paint. It looked like a real hand, right? To the point where I would leave it in a drawer, forget that I put it there, open up that drawer and get the fright of my life, because why is there a human hand in the drawer? It even scared me as an amputee myself. So they were all going for this design, right? And this actually kind of backfired, because wearing these realistic prosthetics, because they looked so realistic but moved so robotically, people didn't know what they were. People didn't know whether they were real, whether they were fake, what they even were, which borders on something we know today as uncanny valley. I don't know if anybody has heard that term. But uncanny valley is the eerie or unsettling feeling that some people experience in response to not quite human figures like humanoid robots. And that's what we were experiencing in my case. The design backfired, and people actually found it uncanny. They found it a little scary to look at, which is weird considering that it was designed to really make other people around me more comfortable and make me blend in as much as possible. I really wanted to try out working with different prosthetic companies, but technology at this time was really just stuck. We saw so many incredible devices being made all around us, but the problem is that they were all for adults. There was never anything for kids. And when we approached these companies and we asked, do you think this will ever be available for children? Can we help you develop it? We were shut down time and time again. And it was the same response, that technology couldn't shrink down small enough to fit into a child-sized hand. So I was forced to leave it for a little bit, take a break from developing prosthetics. But in that time, I didn't want to just sit around and do nothing about it. So I decided to make a list of all the things I really wanted or didn't want in the next prosthetic hand. So first of all, hands didn't have to look so lifelike. Prosthetics in the past had looked so realistic, it was scary, like I said. Sorry, do you want me to? I can just stand here, that's better.
You want to stand?
Yeah?
I can fix the tape as well.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
That's okay, that's okay.
Okay, it's gonna stick. Is this okay?
Yeah. So hands in the past, like I said, they looked so realistic that it was actually scary. It had the reverse effect of what it was meant to. And I was never trying to hide the fact I had no hands. That was never a priority. I wasn't trying to blend that difference. That's not what I wanted. So we decided, why not go the complete opposite way? Make them look not realistic, make them look different and cool and unique, intentionally designed that way. Secondly, they had to help with everyday tasks. At the end of the day, these are considered a medical device. So it was pointless raising all this money for a medical device that couldn't even open wide enough to hold a cup. My most expensive prosthetic I've ever had was £36,000, and it couldn't do that. You couldn't hold a cup with it. So they had to help with everyday tasks. And last but definitely not least, they had to make you feel good. Like I said, prosthetics in the past were almost designed to mask that difference, which is never something I wanted to do. It made me feel like I should almost be ashamed to have no hands and look any different, which, let's be honest, is never the case, and that's what I talk a lot about today. So they had to make you feel good. They had to feel empowering. I'm super excited to now talk about Open Bionics, who are the company I work with today to help develop these prosthetics. And at the time, I was 9 years old, and I went online. This is when 3D printing came about. I Googled 3D printing prosthetics, and up popped Open Bionics because these arms are completely 3D printed. And at the time, they were looking for a child below the elbow amputee to help them develop their tech. We got in touch, asked if we could help out, and they picked me out of the applicants. So ever since I was 9, I've been giving feedback to them and helping develop this technology. But I can't really talk about that and do it justice. So instead, I'm going to show you the video, which is what I first saw and why I wanted to be involved with this company, because it was so exciting.
With DSX, we want it to be the window to the future.
What we're trying to do is change the prosthetics industry so we can offer affordable, functional and beautiful prosthetic devices to amputees.
I'm proud of being one-handed. It doesn't make me feel any different. But wearing this, instead of having people come up to me or give me the sincere look of, oh, you've lost your arm, they go, oh wow, this is fantastic. And I just like to see people have a smile on their face about it. That's what it's all about for me. Because we're heavily promoting this kind of technology, some people really think we were producing, augmented arms. And some fans or some moms and so on were asking, where can I buy your arm? And unfortunately, we have to say, we're not building any arms, we're just a video game company. But that triggers, the thing where we say, we should do something.
It was a really natural fit when they got in touch with us. We were almost expecting it at some point, and we formed this idea to try and turn Adam Jensen's arm into a real-life bionic limb.
I was actually only born with my left hand, so I've never seen any different, and I've always wanted to have a robotic hand. I've never said I wanted two hands, just a robotic one, just to feel more cyborg, because it's just so much cooler, especially being into sci-fi and comics and stuff.
I developed the first bionic hand when I was 17, just tinkering in my bedroom at my parents' house when I was younger. So when I went to university a few years later, I wanted to take the project a little bit further and found that bionic hands existed for amputees to wear, but they were extremely expensive. And so I used that angle as an excuse to be allowed to create a bionic hand for my final year project at university. And then after university was when I co-founded Open Bionics, and we began working on the same problem with a more kind of definitive goal of being able to offer these bionic hands to people at a really affordable price.
So this is a custom built one for myself. We use sensors in the top and bottom of my arm. So if I tense my bottom muscles, it will close. And if I loosen up but tense upwards slightly, it will open. We have a fantastic art director. His name is Jonathan Jack Beltet. This guy is a visionary. He's completely crazy. And the way we wanted to depict, a future world was that human augmentations couldn't be just medical device. We wanted it to be super rewarding. People are wearing this kind of prosthesis in a fashionable way. For DSX, we never wanted to do some gimmicky big robot's hand and so on. We wanted something to touch upon, the high fashion, very refined design, something that looks very slick and very, you could be very proud to wear it. And then you can change all the functions like that. Kind of cool.
At this point, we've made a semi-functional prototype. So we've made one that's functional and looks similar to Adam Jensen's hand. The next steps for us will be perfecting the functionality of it so that it works really nicely and it's very good at grasping objects. and then making the finish really nice so that it looks the part as well. The design files that we're working on in this project will be open source as well, so people will be able to download them. If they have a 3D printer, they'll be able to make themselves an Adam Jensen arm that will be functional, and they'll be able to use it.
We don't want to cut this technology, this accessibility to people who have their both hands and so on. So we partnered with Intel with their RealSense division and Razer with their Stargazer division also.
Multiple points on the hand in motion is captured in real time. The result is a one-to-one mirroring between the user's hand and the bionic hand.
We want to show limb-different people that the products and devices that they're seeing in science fiction, in gaming and in movies can become reality, and can become reality very soon.
It's mind-blowing for a lot of people, but I cannot wait for the future of this.
Everything we're doing is somehow a new step forward. We now defining the future.
Thank you. So that was the first video I watched about this company, and having only been given these really realistic, kind of boring prosthetics before, I was super excited. I thought, finally, we're making arms that people feel good in. You know, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be Iron Man from the get-go. So I was super excited to work with this company, and that's the first thing I did. This was me touring the lab back when I was 9 years old, and the first time I put on this even prototype, because that's all this was, I just remember feeling super empowered, like everything sort of clicked and we were finally on the right track. So that's the first thing I did. I went to San Diego Comic-Con with Open Bionics and IDOS Montreal. Has anyone played Deus Ex in the room, actually? Anybody a video gamer? Yeah? No? Well, I actually wasn't allowed to play this game because it was 15 and I was only 12, but I did tamper a little bit with it. And it was super fun to be there at Comic-Con and see everything that people were up to. And shortly after that, I was invited to the White House in Washington, D.C., where we did a runway, which was all to celebrate and embrace people with prosthetics and different augmentations. And it was at this point I realized, you know, wearing and developing a prosthetic like this was genuinely going to change my life. What used to be a story of sympathy and quite a lot of pity turned into something of awe and inspiration, and I knew it was only going to be up from here. So I carried on traveling around with Sammy. I think I was about 13 in this picture, and we attended Wired in London. And I was just trying to stress to people how important it is to co-design with users, to make something that feels good as well as works good. And that's brought us to where we are here today. So this slide is really, really cool in my presentation. This is a lot of people's favorite slide because this is a 10-year evolution of prosthetics in my first-hand experience, mind the pun. These are all my prosthetics throughout the years. So you've got the hook on that left side, no technology at all, elastic bands, rubber, that was it. Then you've got the hand in the middle, which is high-definition silicon. And this was my first myoelectric hand, so it moved, but it can only open and close, not very wide. Like I said, you couldn't hold a cup with it, and it was obviously very realistic, which I wasn't the biggest fan of at the time. And then you've got the prosthetics that I wear today. This is the Hero arm. Now we're on to the Hero Pro, so there's another generation after this prosthetic now. But here you have a prosthetic that works a lot better. It's a multi-grip, so you can do a pinch, a peace sign, a thumbs up, whatever you want to do. You can most definitely hold a cup with it. But also the other thing is that it's designed to look different. It looks cool, it's 3D printed, you can pick what color it is. And that was like a massive door that was unlocked in my life. And I am going to give you a proper demonstration of how all of this works after this talk, so stay tuned for that. But there was only one difference between how these companies operated with me. One difference between this hook on the left and the 3D printed bionic arm on the right. And that was that the company sat me down for the first time and they asked me, what do you want? Funnily enough, in the whole time I grew up wearing prosthetics, never once was I sat down as the user, as the amputee, and asked, what do you want in the prosthetic hand? Because if they asked me early on, they would have got a very different answer. Hands up if you think I wanted a super realistic hand, I just wanted to blend in as much as possible and fix what I'd lost. Hands, hands, hands. Hands up if you think I wanted to look like Iron Man. Correcto mundo. I wanted to be Iron Man, and this was the first time that people asked me, what do you want? And we went from there. I'm now ambassador for Open Bionics, and I travel around speaking about their technology, but all the while still being very brutally honest with them, wearing these arms and giving feedback, brutally honest feedback of what's good, what's great, what works, what sucks, what I think should be in the arm next, and co-designing that so that they can be the best for me, obviously wearing them, but also for people all over the world who could benefit from this technology. Then I decided to make myself another goal. These hands and the way people had reacted to them had given me so much confidence that I felt the stigma of prosthetics being only a medical device could now finally be removed. We'd finally gotten away from the whole it's bad to be different thing, and I actually thought these prosthetics had the potential to be insanely fashionable and stylish. I decided there was no need to hide it anymore, and out on a limb, I decided to post on social media, you know, just using my bionic arms and expressing myself how I like to. And the reception I got on there was absolutely amazing. I never could have predicted it. And I think the thing is that I was just using them how I wanted to. It was very authentic. And I spoke about the design and how it's important to think about, you know, what the user wants and how they want it to look. I gave a talk on all my social medias recently, which went viral on every platform, talking about why I covered my bionic arm in glitter. Because yes, I do have a bionic arm at home that is covered in jewels, because why the heck not? And I feel like this was the wake-up call a lot of designers needed to, you know, really think about what the user wants it to look like and making sure we're going down the right route. But so much has been happening behind closed doors. You know, technology is always developing. There's always, you know, new things out there to help us progress with technology, especially when it comes to prosthetics and robotics. And just last year, we launched 3 new products. We launched the Hero Flex, which is an activity arm. I have one to play the drums. We launched the Hero Pro, which is the arm I wear here today, which is Hero arm, but next level, kind of, I would say. And then you got the Hero Rugged, which is a record-breaking prosthetic arm, considered the most futuristic bionic arm in the world in one of the latest Mr. Beast videos, if anybody has seen that. But I have a video to tell you all about the stats. I love a good video. So here is the most futuristic bionic arm in the world, the Hero Rugged. So that is the Hero Rugged. What I have here is the Hero Pro, which is similar, but a little less strong, because quite frankly, I don't think they trusted me with all that strength. You know, if I had a Hero Rugged, I might have caused some damage. But they're for the big guys, the farmers, the veterans, super strong, super powerful, and fully waterproof, which is a really cool thing within that prosthetic space. I feel like talking about technology these days, it's quite an interesting debate, topic of conversation, because you have two very passionate, opposing views, right? You have some people who think technology and AI is the best tool ever, it's the best thing to grace our world, you know, we're all for it, biggest fan. And then you've got other people who are kind of scared of this technology. They're like, please make it stop, you know, the robots are taking over, and they're terrified, right? And that's when I like to step in as a positive reminder that technology is doing amazing, amazing things that we don't talk about as much. It's giving people limbs back, sight back, the ability to walk again through exoskeletons. And that is incredible stuff. Could this technology go wrong if it's in the wrong hands? Like most things, probably yes, unfortunately. But the way I think we tackle that is by keeping an ethical route, right? By consulting with people who live differently, who have disabilities and different challenges, and figuring out how we can help those people so everything's an even playing field. It's about helping people, being innovative to do so. I think in this day and age, people think we're heading towards inevitable dystopia, right? I get a lot of dystopian people who are scared about this. But the truth is, it's not dystopia we're heading for. We're heading towards inevitable change, sure. But within that, we have a choice, right? It can go one or two ways. And that's why I like to end every presentation I give with just giving you that idea. There's a choice. And like I was asked at the start, for the first time, which opened all these doors, what do you want? What change do you want to see? What difference do you want to make? And what can you do right now to head towards that change? I want you to think about that because you guys all have the potential. I was at Robot Wars yesterday. I saw what's happening here. And everyone in this room is going to be designing and helping us towards a more positive future. So just think about what change you want to see. Thank you very much. We're going to do a Q&A in a little bit, but before I do that, I'm going to give you a live demonstration. Who wants a live demonstration of how this actually works, okay? So this is the Hero Pro, which I wear. It's completely 3D printed, which was a big pull factor that made me want to work with it. Yeah, so from the hand, the socket, the myopods, 3D printed, incredible technology. And a lot of people think these hands are mind-controlled. Not quite, it's all muscle sensors. So we've got these two, what we call myopods here. There's two sensors, and these are EMG sensors. And what they do is they track the electrical signals I send through to my arm that's still here. So there's only two muscles that I use to control the entire hand, from a peace sign to a thumbs up to a grasp, whatever it is. And that is squeeze to close, flex to open. They're the only two muscles to control the whole hand. From that point onwards, it kind of works like a menu system. So if I want to change the grip mode, I can open the hand all the way, and if I try and open some more, you'll see that thumb come around. Also the button flashes green on the back. That indicates that I'm changing the grip mode. So there are actually like 30 plus grip modes in total, and there's an app where you can just drag and drop all these grips, but you can have up to 25 grips in the hand at any set time. And from that point, you just sort of cycle through them. So, for example, this is grip 1. I have a normal close and a grasp, like this. Then if I press the button, squeeze that same muscle now, it's the same muscle, but you'll see only one finger goes down in a little pinch motion. Again, open all the way, change the grip mode, flash green, and you got a point. This comes down, very good for like popcorn or like crisps out of a bowl, something like that. Change the grip mode again. You can do 2 fingers. And then, this is my favorite, you can do a peace sign. This one comes out a lot. Then if I press this button one more time, as standard, I have this grip mode, which is sort of like a point, like this. Then change the grip mode again. This is something that's brand new, is the thumb can come down. The Hero arm couldn't do that. Change the grip mode once more. We've got a finger roll. I think that's quite cool because it really shows the individual motors. And something that I dragged in today because I want to play, something that's new is that we can do rock, paper, scissors now, which is something that you've never been able to do in a prosthetic before. So we got paper, we got scissors, and rock, which is amazing, right? Also, there's a 360-degree wrist, so you can do all the way around like this. There's flexion and extension, so you can high up, low down, put my hand back to front. I can do that too. And you can also detach it and have it crawl across on its own because it is totally wireless, totally Bluetooth. The hand can operate over there while I'm over there, which is pretty mad. But yeah, I'm going to open the floor up to any questions you might have. If anybody has any questions, you can, I don't know how we're doing that. I guess you just put your hand up and somebody will help. Yes. Huh? Yeah, there we go.
More slide changer in this finger, in this hand.
Why can't I? That's a good question. I mean, I kind of like to wear one on, one off to just showcase how to do it. But, I mean, you probably could. I think because I've just, like, spent my life doing it this way, that I haven't done it. I feel like if I was to do that, it would probably be maybe the thumb grip mode. So like this, push it like that. But kind of depends on the clicker, how much force. But I just feel comfortable because basically I can't feel anything. So that's why a lot of the time I'll wear one hand, because this grip is amazing, but I can't feel. So I'll have a good grip on this side and then be able to feel around with this arm. I find that a lot more, reliable. But yeah, so mainly the sense of touch, I'd say.
Thank you. Thank you.
No worries. Yes?
Yeah, Tony, hats off.
Hello.
Yeah, very good, amazing things you showed.
Thank you.
And can you say that your bionic hand is 100% natural hand?
Can I, sorry, what?
Your bionic hand
Bionic
is
hand.
your bionic hand is 100% equivalent to natural hand.
Different to the actual hand?
No, I'm not asking a different. Is it equivalent to your natural hand, your
Do you
bionic
think
hand?
it's equal to an actual hand?
Natural hand, God created hand.
Honestly, I wouldn't say not yet. Not yet. I would say in the future, maybe a lot more. But as of right now, I think there's two main limitations, and that is a manual wrist. So this is the best wrist I've ever had, but you still have to push
That is
it.
the best, Tony, that is the best. Natural hand, we cannot rotate it 360 degrees.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
You did amazing.
you can do some things that human hands can't do, which is cool, but I definitely think there's some things human hands do, like feel, for example, which would be good to have in the arm as well.
How fast your bionic hand is?
How fast?
How fast?
Are
When
these?
compared to natural hand.
Um,
Natural hand is very fast. Because
Yeah.
when my brain gives the commands, it's an actuator. That's
Yeah, so there's no latency, so there's no delay at all. As soon as I move that muscle, the fingers will move. And one of the best things about this arm is that it is the quickest on the market. So it's twice the speed of other prosthetics. I would say maybe a human hand is still slightly faster, but there's no latency.
Did you it's simulated with the natural hand, the transients?
Sorry?
You are working with some bionic company, no? Did you simulated the bionic hand with the actual human hand?
I'm not
Performance wise.
I'm not sure. I think a human hand is definitely still better.
No, I will show one demo to you. Please observe it. Closely you observe. Tony, closely observe. My brain is giving a command to my hand. Go and pick that top. It will immediately
Yeah.
give the command. I will walk and I reach the place. My hand is in.
Yeah.
Pick it.
Uh-huh.
That is the command.
Yeah.
Twist it.
Yeah.
Twist it. Twist it. Twist
Yeah.
it. Twist it.
Mhm.
Will your hand do that?
Yeah?
How fast?
Pretty fast, like that.
Yeah.
So,
Twist,
yeah,
twist,
that fast.
twist. Yeah, excellent. Hats off. Hats
Yeah.
off. Hats off.
Anybody else? Hello? I heard somebody. Yeah? Sorry? Can you get hands on? Can you come and see? Yeah, sure. He was was going to come and see the hand. Anybody else? Any questions while we wait for this guy to come on the stage? Yeah. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you.
I want to feel that.
So I have left right now.
It's very hard to feel.
Yeah.
It's always like that, or
Sorry?
is it always hot?
No, so yeah, so he's saying, is it hot? So the battery used to be down here in the old one, but the battery is now in the hand. So when you feel it get hot, that's the battery. And a lot of people think that's intentional, because obviously like human hands get hot, but it's actually just the battery in there.
Thank you for the opportunity.
That's okay, of course. Thank you. Any other questions or guests on the stage? Hello.
Yes. Tilly, actually we have a surprise for you. Our students have made a video for you, so please do sit down and have a watch.
Okay.
Tilly, if you'd like, you can go down and have a seat with...
Sorry?
You can go down the
Down
podium
there?
and have a seat there. Yes.
Okay, cool.
She is revolution personified, a worldwide internet sensation. Always advanced next-gen bionics. A fan favorite from the UK. Turning technology into confidence. We cordially welcome Tilly Lockie, the Bionic Girl.
Do I go back on stage?
Tilly.
Don't smile, don't smile.
Hello, hello. Thank you for sharing your life experience today and that incredible demonstration. Due to time constraints, we are now going to be felicitating you soon. I now request our respected principal, Dr. S.N. Murugesan, to felicitate Tilly Lockie with a memento.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, I will. Thanks for having me. Oh, cool. Let me check. This is crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us get ready for a futuristic spectacle. We have very special people joining us now to take over the stage.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for fixing that.
Where is it?